So welcome back to the channel, and for today's trip I'm going to be leaving Port St Mary here on the Isle of Man. I'm going to be paddling towards the Sound to meet up with 3 of my friends, and then we're going to be doing a circumnavigation of the Calf of Man. So yeah, I'd love you to watch the rest of the video and join me on my paddle trip to the Calf of Man. I'm going to be going into some beautiful sea caves. We're going to visit the Drinking Dragon and have a little play in the Sound. Oh, what an absolutely gorgeous day. So the plan today is, so I'm leaving Port St Mary and I'm going to a place called the Sound, which is a few miles down the coast. I'm going to meet up with a couple of friends that are surfing in the tide race down there. So I wanted to make a bit of a day of it and paddle there. So that's what I'm doing. And it'd be rude not to. Come and look at this. Well, what a treat. This is absolutely stunning out here today. There's a bit of tide going over the reefs. It's not completely flat, but it's as flat as it's been for a long time. Honestly, it's like a breath of fresh air. I really needed this. It's absolutely gorgeous out here. So here I am, I'm just leaving Port St Mary. I'm going to head over to the Sugarloaf sea stack, and I'm going to visit a sea cave. I'm going to have a stop and have a look at the wildlife as well, see what birds are around before I continue on. I'm just coming up to the entrance to the Sugarloaf sea cave. It is quite beautiful. Towards the end of the video I'll revisit on the way home and take my time and show you a little bit more inside. But yeah, it's truly wonderful to paddle through here. We are quite lucky to have these things. So this is a truly amazing place. It's a spectacle to see. I'm just under what is the chasms, if you know the chasms, and I'm just by the Sugarloaf Rock, but I'll just show you now. The cliff face is absolutely full of what I call Manx penguins, because I'm not sure what they are, but they look like penguins. I think they're razorbills or something like that, but I could be wrong. But what a beautiful little cove this is. I'll show you now. Birds are just flying everywhere, just dive bombing, and amazing. There's literally thousands of birds. Oh, bless you. Stunning place. I'm going to continue now anyway, that way. So from here you start to get a glimpse of the drinking dragon that I'll be visiting just later on in the film. So now we start to see the full extent of the Calf of Man. So we're going to be circumnavigating the Calf of Man. The initial idea was to stop in the sound and play on the standing waves, but the wind didn't bring up any wind on tide, so the group I met up with decided that would have a circumnavigation of the Calf of Man instead and enjoy the weather. So here is where I joined Kieran, Steve and Matt. And this is where we decided to go and paddle around the Calf of Man. So this is a pepper pot lighthouse. It's always a fun place to go and kayak around. There's always a bit of a tide race there you can play in, but no big waves today. But the tide was moving quite fast. So its real name is Thousla Rock Lighthouse, but we nickname it the Pepper Pot. The harbour just here is also called Cow Harbour, and it got the name because they used to get the cows to swim across the water from the mainland. So this is a real treat. This is the Drinking Dragon, which is formerly known as the Baroo. So there's a formidable tide race here. This is actually quite calm for today because there's no wind, but this really gets big. I pulled into the eddy line at the side to film the other guys having a play around in it. I was quite happy there, really. So here we get a glimpse of the Chicken Rock Lighthouse, which we'll visit on another day. But looking across, these are the three lighthouses that are on the Calf of Man, and just in the distance there is the hostel. You can actually stay on the Calf of Man when it's in season through the summer. The wardens that look after the Calf of Man also look after the hostel, but you can book it online. You can stay for a few days if you like. There's a big seal population on the Calf of Man here, and there's a few of the older seal pups basking in the sunshine. Here you can see the other lighthouses as well. So here we've nearly completed the circumnavigation of the Calf. This is looking over towards Port Erin and in the distance Peel Hill. So here we're going to cross the Sound again. There's quite a flow in the Sound, so you've got a ferry glide your way over or catch a wave, either way. But we decided to stop and get in the eddy line behind the Pepperpot Lighthouse. So it was here I said goodbye to everybody and I carried on paddling back to Port St Mary. So at this point I could just sort of sit back and relax and take in the atmosphere. I just took my time on the way back, said goodbye to the Calf there and just chilled out really, as you can see. So this headland is called Spanish Head, and there's a couple of ways it could have got its name. It's said that there was a Spanish galleon ship sank just off the coast here, and the sailors all climbed ashore, but there's actually no record of a Spanish galleon being missing out the record books. The other story is that there was a Spanish sword found at the top of the hill, which sort of convinced people that the sailors did actually climb up to rescue themselves. So this is the chasms that we're looking upon now, and we're just in the distance is the Sugarloaf sea stack. So I'm just going to give it one last go through the sea cave, and I'm really glad I did because the sunlight was just making everything turquoise inside. It was quite beautiful. So there's one last cave here. You might have seen it on my way out. I scooted past it because I had somewhere to go, but now I have time. I thought I'd show you inside. It's quite a big cave actually, but it's quite interesting to go in. It's quite daunting. I always think there's a monster in the back or something, or a big kraken. So I don't hang around in there, but it's really nice to go in and paddle around. I'm not gonna lie, I'm absolutely goosed. I'm not sure how many miles I've done. I've done a few. Really nice here. So yeah, I've not had anything to eat or been sipping on my drink, but I can't wait to get back now. I've had enough of kayaking now. I've got a couple of miles left to go to get back to the car, and then I'm going to go and find some food. I'm starving. So yeah, I'll say bye here, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. So if you've got this far, I'd really appreciate it if you would like and especially subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow the channel and I've got some big plans this year, so I really would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe.